Welcome to a moment of intriguing introspection beyond the realms of fear, hesitancy, and doubt. A deep dive into the questions of the ages shared with the courage that may challenge perception, yet teases open the expansive depth of conscious awareness. This is a rare and unique moment in our collective history. And beyond all sense of dogma, I am Master Lady Kira Ra, promising to call forward the essence of all that you are. Join me as I offer the latest Self-Ascension revelations with supportive wisdom. And why not remember that peace, love, and joy are your birthright? So this is the moment to bring your hand to your heart and to give yourself the gift of relaxing into a deep breath with a wondrous exhale. I look forward to joining you right now in another episode of Expanding Consciousness. Welcome to another extraordinary episode of Expanding Consciousness. I am Master Lady Kira Ra, and welcome. Welcome to a moment that is yours to simply relax into potentiality. Really breathe that in. That in this moment, you're gifting yourself. You're saying, you know what? I'm going to take the next 25 minutes and I'm just going to give myself the gift of relaxing outside of everything that has ever sought to tell me what should be, could be, had to be, and invite myself into the gift of what I am as you are. I hope you're smiling as I am right now, because today is a really extraordinary moment. You know, today, this extraordinary series, this podcast, this broadcast, this show is all about becoming the encyclopedia that you can reference when you have questions about your conscious awakening, when you have questions about what begins to surface before you as conscious awareness unfolds from within you. Conscious awareness is the key. To be aware of that which we were not even aware of, with the smile of recognition that releases everything from the past and ignites the glorious now. We are the co-creators, and I know you know that as much as I do. And as we do with every single one of these extraordinary episodes, we are calling together right now from every avenue, from every potentiality, all those in whatever form you may receive this episode, whether it is in the year 2024 in this world as we count time when it was created, or whenever and wherever you are receiving this, I bow before you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having been here right now. So what is today about? Today we're going to dive into something very fascinating, is that the word of the year, that as the word of the year came out, for this year it's polarization. And in this field of potentiality, as we are already at a moment where we have expanded consciousness beyond where it has ever gone, we are now in that expanded moment of consciousness, arriving into the depth of the experience and certainly the choice to continue this experience of creation. And in that choice that we have all made, as we move into that awareness of the choice, as we move into the experience of the choice, as we choose again and again and again, right now, polarization is the way that fear has metamorphosized. Let's take a moment back, and I want to unpack that quite a bit, and what that consciousness is, and how to navigate that consciousness, and actually the gift of its expression. And in order to arrive there, it's important to relax back into how we are navigating, how we are seeing, how we are visioning, and relaxing. So I want to invite you right now to just relax. Notice your breath, notice your heart, notice your throat, notice anywhere in your body, regardless of whether or not you know what a chakra is or is not, or believe in what it is or is not, doesn't matter. What matters is just notice your body right now. Is your tummy calling you? Is a leg calling you? Is a hip calling you? What is your body saying? Because our bodies are the first extension of our consciousness in this very specific field of potentiality that calls in this very specific form of a body, so that our expansive conscious awareness may continually be ever more self-aware. How beautiful is that? So here we are in this field, in this extraordinary field of creation right now, as an extension of consciousness itself, standing in a physical form. And in that physical form, in this field where fear, and I just want to caveat here for a moment, please listen to the episode that was put out right before this one about fear. Go watch that episode, listen to it again. Because in this field where the planetary thought body is all about fear, right? Planetary thought body is just fear, 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 fear. In that knowing, in the ability to pay attention to, hey, I'm clear that in this field of creation, that in this world of knowing and being, I intentionally chose to be here right now where the planetary thought body is based upon the energy of fear. There are potentialities where our planetary thought bodies are based upon the energy of love. And oftentimes when we are in an energy of fear, which we are here, right with that is the energy of trust, because this is how the polarities begin. The polarities are the contrast between fear and trust. And fear and trust are the flip sides of the coin of hate and love. They're all the same coin. Love, hate, fear, trust, they're all the same coin, opposite sides. So how do those sides see each other when they're the same? When you're one side of a coin trying to see around the other side, yet there seems to be a rigidity around that. Well, that's where the fluidity of consciousness becomes the ignition. So as we relax into this specific field of potentiality, I want to take us back to 2015. I want to take you on a quick little history lesson right now. And if you visit SriAndKira, SriAndKira.com, just in the search engine at the top, type in 7 polarities of free will. Okay, 7 polarities of free will. There's even a home study course at that website for it as well. Because this is how polarization became the word of the year. And it's a fascinating journey that we have been on, and one that started actively unfolding in 2015. So here we are on the precipice of 2025 and closing this window. It's that energy of polarization that has surfaced into the conscious awareness of a planetary thought body that is still circulating in the energy of fear, where we carry these physical bodies that are our first line of defense. Take a breath. Yeah, let's really breathe that one in, right? I'm needing another breath on that. So in 2015, the 7 polarities of free will first began the active expression of revealing themselves on this planet. And I actually put out a full chart for the years 2015. This was a 7-year escalator. And if you go into the website, transcending.com, you will see that chart. And in the 7 polarities of free will, what happened was that we moved through as if we were blooming our chakras, as if we were igniting everything. And during that time, from 2015 through 2021, each one of those 7 years revealed one of the polarities within the overarching experience of a planetary thought body that is permeating in fear and the trust ignition. So a planetary thought body of fear, 7 polarities of free will are birthing. So you have these 7 polarities that are coming in through the energy of fear, but simultaneously, and the blessing of, was that this was an ascension escalator. And that's another thing you can look up at SriAndKira.com, the ascension escalator. So that ascension escalator began in 2015, and we got on it, and it was just a nice, slow, steady ride to the top floor. And when we arrived at the top, it was like, okay, top floor, everybody off. And everyone jumped off with a different experience of the fear trust pathway of those 7 years, in addition to the exposure to, recognition of, and first dance with the 7 polarities of free will. They came in one at a time over those 7 years. And then what happened is, ever since we got to that top floor, ever since it was, okay, everybody off, we're here, the escalator's stopping, ever since we arrived there, it has been this vast exploration of the totality of all of it. All of it. Meaning every one of those polarities woven together, every one of them in front of us, that coin, that fear and trust coin, the hate love coin, really dancing, spinning, 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 spinning on its side, yet never able to see the other side. And those are the coins that are spinning right now. Those are the circles of time that we are navigating right now. And so it's important to understand how the field of the polarities unfolded that would bring us forward to the consciousness of polarization itself, and how that consciousness is permeating the planetary thought body, the decisions that we're making, the lives that we're living, everything. So as you really breathe that in, let me just recap before we go any further, because this is important to remember that we are standing at the precipice right now. As this experience, as I have the honor of sitting here co-creating this experience with you right now, we are already in a whirlwind. And that is a whirlwind of the creation through consciousness itself, and the experience of the rising conscious awareness that is inviting you to absolutely break through anything and everything that has ever sought to try to stop you. And because of that, and really breathe that in, because of that, right now, might feel really intense. No matter when you're watching this, you might be noticing a sense of intensity around your life experience right now. You might be noticing a deep breathing experience, a higher, the third chakra, the stomach area. Just notice your whole stomach area, because, the stomach area is our power of creation itself, and really calling in that harmonic balance. We are often within the consciousness of polarization within our own body, within our own cycle of the 5 medicines. Within the 5 medicines, remember that we are the prayer wheel. You are that which is sustaining the spin. The more that you are able to hold thyself as consciousness, as that beautiful, no beginning, no end, eternal pillar of light, the easier everything around you is able to move. The slightest motion from you causes the beautiful movement to be. And a little extra motion from you brings in the law of instantaneous manifestation so fast that it stands outside of all time, and thereby invites the mind to fully release. So breathe that one in, because the mind, that 6 o'clock position, that one that stands in the wheel and says, I'll do it all if I have to, that mind is the thief of the physical and the emotional body. And it is also the one who sees the spiritual ignition when ready. The mind is very powerful. However, the mind's power is directly tied to the physical body. The north and the south, the physical and the mind, are their own 12 and 6 o'clock, constantly feeding each other, becoming their own partners in pain, until the freedom that comes from within calls forward the energy of its own experience of oneness that occurs through a polarization of the mind and the body. Now, did you follow that? I bet you did. Because that's what this is about. It's about the recognition that polarization is everywhere. Polarization in and of itself is not anything to be afraid of or angry about, or to get even more polarized about. It's very important to recognize that you have polarizations happening constantly within your own ecosystem of that which you are in this field of experience. And it is through those polarizations that we begin to have the energy, the fuel of propulsion. Polarization will always lead to propulsion. Polarization will always gift us with the opportunity of expansion. And polarization itself is simply a natural occurrence of this field of potentiality and the way that we have chosen to create through it. In and of itself, as with all energies, They are neutral, merely a byproduct of the interaction of the creation. And this is the gift of this word of the year. This is the gift of this moment where the 7 polarities of free will are all over us, where the coins of fear and trust and love and hate are spinning, 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 seeing each other, dancing in new dances all the time. This is the moment to gaze within. This is the moment to bring your hands to your heart and notice what you feel first. Notice what you feel and really give it its due. And as you go around the wheel, as we move in the wheel of the 5 energies, the 5 medicines, remember that in the center, you're number 5. You are the still center. You are that which holds the prayer wheel. In the active stillness ignites the greatest action. And in that ignition right now, breathing in, notice within your own experience again, that which seems to be at odds with itself. Where are the polarizations that you're seeing? Number 1, within your own body. Is not the polarization of a hip freezing because you're in pain, right? Pain response. That's all polarization is. It's that pain response that is a natural offshoot of the fear-based planetary thought body that is the form of growth we have taken. This was the form we chose. So in the knowing of your choice comes the freedom. Really take a minute and breathe that one in. In the knowing of your choice comes the freedom. And I'm going to throw this in, all hyphen ways. In the knowing of your choice, let's take it one step further, beyond doubt ignites the true freedom. Because when we go beyond the doubt, it simply means that on that fear, trust, 7 polarities of free will, when we're going beyond doubt, we're moving into trust. Because fear and doubt are of the same. Doubt is merely fear, fear is merely doubt. Because anything that takes you away from that 100% connected knowing of your eternal nature, anything else, anything that takes you away from that, its entire intention is so that you can have a richer, more textured, extraordinary experience diving into density, diving into the planetary thought body of fear, diving into this body. How deeply can this body feel? All of it, without exception, all of it is beautifully engineered, designed, put together so that you are able to fully have the depth and the experience of your conscious awareness. And this is where the consciousness of polarization is so beautiful, because it gives you a moment to once again rise up like the lotus coming through the mud, to breathe fresh air, to open your eyes, even if everything else is in the mud, to open your eyes and see the hands that are already reaching out and saying, we're right here. All you have to do is open your eyes and see. To recognize that when we can look at fear and trust, when the 7 polarities of free will ignite, when polarization itself becomes a pervasive insertion into a fear-based thought body, that's your moment of action. That is your moment of action. How can you coagulate all that is around you into a beautiful flow that comes together into the recognition of opening eyes, hearts, and minds to see beyond the complexity or the perception of the complexity of the differences into the gift of our oneness? Our oneness is why polarization is in front of us, because it is when we are able to walk through that perception and that judgment and the filters of a fear-based planetary thought body. It is at that moment when we are able to break free and really be on the other side of it. You know, I like to describe it as coming up to 10,000 feet. So, or come up here to Tosa Blue Mountain. Go to tosabluemountain.com. Get down here. Just get down here. And when you are here, come walk with me up to the top of the mountain. Let's just go sit at 7,500. We'll stay there. So let's go up to that. And as we do, and as we gaze out over this extraordinary valley that I'm gazing at right now, And we see all the beautiful Andes Mountains, and we see all of these villages way off in the distance. Every one of them is beautiful. Everyone, every color, every bit of the architecture, all of the people in their beautiful hats and traditional clothing walking up and down the mountains, women in beautiful velvet skirts. From that distance, you get to see it all. You get to watch the natural rhythms of all of it. And you get to see what could be perceived as polarity between it. And in that moment, when the greater mosaic reveals itself, arises the space within to call forward from beyond a fear-based planetary thought body of this one potentiality, and to receive through the eternal nature of your conscious awareness itself. Because we are in a world of contrast. We are in a world that loves up, down, light, dark, all of it. And in that, it's about finding that beautiful, perfect center, finding that still point. North, south, east, west. What holds all that together? Consciousness right in the center. That's the consciousness of polarization. It is the expansion and a result of, as is intended to be, a planetary thought body based upon fear. And as everything that shoots out of our planetary thought body, as everything that arises on this extraordinary journey in densified form, in this type of body, in this specific potentiality, in this way of counting time, all of that is designed so that the eternal pulse wave of conscious awareness, that depth of love, that illuminated presence, just keeps going. And right now, here's a secret, and it's important, because right now, in this specific potentiality, we are already further in our ability and conscious awareness than we have ever been at any time ever, regardless of any myth you want to believe about any other experience on this planet during this potentiality. All of them, we did not achieve this potentiality, this embodied level of conscious awareness. This is a success. We're already a success. If this happens right now, we are already a success. However, we are also here to go beyond where we have gone before in the conscious awareness of it, which is the full body mastery presence, the yoga of self-ascension, embodied. The yoga of self-ascension is your belief system. It's your belief system. It's as unique as you are. All it is inviting you to do is to call forward all that you are into this body of form through the conscious command of this body of form, to be able to remember, while in formed awareness, the eternal nature in multiple dimensional experiences, thereby able to ignite the streams of potentiality into conscious awareness. Take in a breath, because that's not mumbo jumbo. If you need to, go back and listen to it again. What it is an invitation. It is an invitation to shift the consciousness of polarization within. It is an invitation to see beyond that which seeks to limit. It's an invitation to relax, to exhale, because to exhale is to trust. When we hold our breath, we are in fear. When we exhale, we are in trust and able to relax, receive, regenerate, and of course, create. Breathe that in through your heart. Breathe that in through your solar plexus. The power and the field of creation exist in the consciousness of polarization itself. Polarization itself is an energy of profound creation, birthed through a planetary thought body of fear into formed awareness handed back for your use. In the recognition of the 7 polarities of free will that began on that ascension escalator that began in 2015, we were able to really see the outcome of every one of those polarities in the field of fear, while we unfolded through their appearance, through the fact that was called in. It's not a disappointment. It's not a, oh my God, we messed up. It's a, okay, because these are here, all of this is happening now. All of this under trust is happening. And so that's where we get to look and pay attention. Polarized or beautiful together? Consider that. Consider that informed awareness right now. Have you ever met someone that's completely opposite from you, but you feel incredibly close to this person or attracted to that person? Perhaps the potentiality of polarization was there. Yet through the seeds of divine awareness, what could have potentially been a polarization becomes a synchronization. It becomes one. It becomes aware of the beauty of the totality and thereby recreates anew, dissolving any perception of polarization into the gift of creation. Taking a breath, really, really breathing deep through your nose, Ave. Exhaling with a smile. And bring your hands to your stomach again. And notice what you're noticing. Notice, does it feel tight? Does it feel relaxed? Is it gurgling? Is it okay? Is it neutral? Matters not. Let it be, Buddha belly. Let it all hang out, so to speak. Just relax. Exhale. And as you do, release all that would seek to be in the consciousness of polarization into the recognition of the dance, of the synchronization, and of the gift that you are here on this extraordinary journey right now. You are listening to this whenever you catch it right now because you are aware, and because deep within you, everything that you are is screaming at you and saying, dance. It is your time. So let's dance. It is our time. I really invite you to visit ShriAndKira.com. Make sure you check out the 7 Polarities of Free Will up there in the search, and also visit the Divine Ensoulment Library. Everything's free. And go to the series, The Lost Books of the Essene. And if you're only going to read one book, read book 5. It's your moment. It will assist you to stay at 7,500 feet or above, to navigate this moment with the precious gift of all that you are. And to know that as you hold your hands to your heart, I am as you are. To smile and remember that all is truly well when we invite ourselves to remember it so. With all my heart, I love you. And I want to close today with the mantra of self-ascension, bringing your hands to your heart outside of all dogma, just a way to kind of call in and hold that still center so that you are that command of the prayer wheel and all that beautiful activity. You can repeat each line after me if you wish, or just simply remain in silence. But here it is, 4 simple lines. Write them down if you don't know them. You ready? I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. And taking in a smile, we bow and trust. Namaste. I love you with all my heart. Visit ShriAndKira.com. Visit TosaBlueMountain.com. And I look forward to hugging you in person. And until then, feel my arms around you right now. Many blessings. Have a great week. Thank you for joining me on Expanding Consciousness. Learn more about the yoga of self-ascension at ShriAndKira.com, and make sure you're subscribed to YouTube official Shri and Kira. Remember, you are the gift. I love you and look forward to being with you again. Namaste.